Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Just want to take today to look at some terms and some concepts related to film that are pretty important to understand if we're going to start analyzing how films express their meanings or how to analyze expression in film. Because, shocker, I know, film is a pretty different medium from literature. Um, Film is a visual medium. It conveys its meaning primarily through image, as well as, again, the words that are spoken by the characters. And again, there is dialogue. But primarily, film tells its story through image. Literature tells its story through word. So, just right off the bat, the method of communication and expression is different. Let me move this up. And because of that difference, we need to kind of examine how film is different so that way we understand how filmmakers tell their stories and how they express their meanings so that way we can better analyze them. To do that, we need to look at a concept called cinematography. I'm sure you've heard of it before, so I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I do want to keep this kind of short. So, simply put, cinematography refers to the camera and what the camera does and looks at. Technically, the definition is the art and process of capturing visual images with a camera for cinema. Literally, the word means writing in movement. So, essentially, what cinematography refers to, it's what the camera looks at and shows. So, this impacts things like camera movement. How does the camera move during a shot? Is it going to move at all? Or is it going to be static and stay in one spot? Angle. Where is the camera going to be placed in relation to whatever it's trying to show? Is it going to be close? Is it going to be far away? Is the camera going to be at like a weird like tilt, like Dutch angle type thing? Those types of things. How long are the shots going to be? Is this going to be a really long shot or take where the camera just kind of watches and lets this thing play out? Or is it going to be a lot of quick cuts between images and characters and stuff? All those things fall under cinematography. So it's a pretty broad topic. But cinematography, since cinematography refers to what the camera does and shows, and since meaning and expression in film is conveyed through what the camera shows and does, this is a pretty important concept. What's also important to understand about film is that you should assume everything you see and hear in film is intentional. The director wants you to see and hear this stuff. If they didn't want you to do that, then they could have done a different take or edited that out. That's a big way. Like film is often compared to drama or theater, but there's a big difference between film and theater, and that theater is live and film is recorded. When something is live, you have a lot less control over what's going to happen. Like the director of a play does not really have a lot of control over what's happening in the moment. Like if you're in the middle of a performance and something goes wrong that the director didn't want to happen, it's not like you can just say cut, go back and start over. But in film, you can do that. You can make actors do take after take after take after take until you get what you want. So that's why, again, because you can do multiple takes of stuff, because editing exists, we should assume that everything you see on film, everything you see on screen and hear is intentional. The director wants that there for some reason. It's there to help convey the message. There are some instances when they're pretty glaring when you have things on screen or in film that are not intentional and that are mistakes. Good examples: the Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones, or the stormtrooper hitting his head in New Hope when he walks in a door. Those to me are pretty good examples of things that are glaringly out of place. But whatever. So we also need to define some terms relating to cinematography and just some general terms relating to filmmaking in general. As you are probably aware, films are not just like film is not composed of just okay, turn the camera on for 2 hours, just show what happens, and that's that. There are things like different locations, different scenes. So to kind of break apart how these things are referred to in film, there are 3 terms to look at. The first of these is a shot. In filmmaking, a shot means a single take. So what a take is, from the time the director says action to the time the director says cut. Basically, you turn from the time you turn the camera on to the time you turn the camera off. Yeah. Now, you can do multiple takes for a bunch of different reasons. God, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so a take is from the time you turn the camera on to the time you turn the camera off, or that's a shot. So basically, if you have to turn the camera off, move the camera, and turn it on again to start filming something else, that is a different shot. So shots can range in length. They can be pretty short, or they can be pretty long. There are a couple of movies that are known for having what are referred to as long takes, where there's shots that go on for a really long period of time, usually like a couple of minutes, which in film is a long time to go without moving to a different shot, without having to like turn the camera off so you could set up for a different shot. So those are significant. Next term we need to look at is a scene. A scene is composed of several shots put together. So, for example, if we were to like say take a scene of like 2 characters talking, commonly the way those scenes are shot in film, you'll do a number of takes where you have the camera facing one character, and they'll have different separate shots for each of those characters' lines, and then you'll have different shots where the camera's facing the other character to show the other character's lines when they're talking back and forth. So a scene then would be that entire conversation smushed together. And then if you mush several scenes together, that refers to a sequence. So basically, a sequence refers to all the scenes generally surrounding or pertaining to a single type of event or a single major event. Let me try to think of an example that's not from a movie we watch it here. That I'm sure you've all probably seen before. And I'm drawing a blank. Okay, I'm just going to go with The Godfather. So we will watch The Godfather in here. So just to give an example, the opening sequence, which is pretty long, focuses around a wedding. So that entire wedding, like 20 minutes while the people are at this wedding and doing stuff, would be considered a sequence. While the different individual parts within the wedding would be scenes. So like there are scenes where you have the main character talking with different people. So I'd argue each one of those different interactions or conversations is its own scene. And within each of those scenes, within each of those conversations, there are a bunch of different shots used to tell that. Hopefully that makes sense. Because what your homework is for tonight then is to try and identify the impacts of cinematography on stuff. So in the assignment that's included in this module, you will be watching a long take from the movie Goodfellas, and you'll essentially be writing your thoughts about how the cinematography, how the way this scene is shot, how the way the camera moves and all that stuff impacts and it kind of enhances what's going on in the scene and what point the director, Martin Scorsese, is trying to get across in that scene. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with. I know things have been kind of crazy with Canvas this week. Hopefully that's taken care of. If you have not filled out that film viewing survey, please do so. That will help out a lot for me to plan and schedule when we're going to start our first movie. Ideally, I'd like it to be next week. So make sure you do that. Okay. Take care, guys.